I've already felt a couple. I've held them down, but
okay,
we could be in for a long.
Did you drink a bubbly drink before this?
Well, yeah. Now, I'm not pointing fingers.
What did I say?
You said, "Will you be burping all episode?"
Yes.
And I said, "No, I'll get them all out."
Okay. Did you get them all out?
I thought so.
I gave it to him. I said, "You can have this if you're not going to burp."
To a dog.
And you said it won't be an issue.
Don't chew it on the couch. But
Don't
you
worry.
can have it.
Do you just want to get it all out right now? Just
I can't.
Get a good
Do you know
one.
what's fun fact about Drew? I can't burp on command. Do you know how people can just like bleh and like burp?
Yeah, I think it's so crazy.
I can't do it. And there are times like an infant child. There are times where I'm like, I have to burp, and I have to just wait for it to come out.
Oh, interesting.
I can't just be like, all right, Drew, it's time to burp.
That's so fascinating about your bodily functions. Anyway, how was your week, Drewski?
Good. My week has been good. My week's been good.
You do know we're recording a podcast right now, so you gotta like yes and. It can't just what's going on?
I was gonna say, you know what? Screw it. I'm going on a little self-discovery journey of myself.
Okay.
And I am going 30 days, no alky bevies.
Okay.
And I'm on day 12.
Day 12 already?
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude!
Wow,
that's going by so
That's
fast.
so funny when you say it like that. I'm like, finally, day 12. And for people out there like my family, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Totally.
I just need a little reset. Plus, I know we're going into the football season. Des and I want to be a bit more mindful because this is our job. And you can't, just because we have an interesting job, you can't just be like clocking in, down in a beer.
Completely.
And your coworkers don't come
drunk.
running over at a bar being like, let's do shots because the Broncos just scored. We have an interesting job, so we're going to try and not do that as much this season.
We're going to see how this goes.
But all that being said, my sleep's gotten a lot better. My energy's better. My mind's more focused. Go figure, alcohol is technically poison.
Whoa.
So when you stop poisoning yourself, your body's like, pretty good.
Okay.
So let's just get this out of the way. Moonshots.
Oh, man, you had a game last night.
Not only did we have a game last night, we had a playoff game last night.
You had a playoff game last night.
Des came to support. The whole town came to support.
The whole town. Everyone was there.
It was a good crowd. I played fine. I didn't really play that well. I didn't play poorly. It was just whatever.
Yeah.
We lost.
Oh.
But we lost to the team that won the whole kit and caboodle.
What do you mean?
The team that beat us then went on to play the championship game and won.
Oh, it was all in one night?
All in one night.
Then who played at 7:30?
The Dingers and the team.
Oh,
and the Dingers lost.
Second and third place.
Yeah.
And then whoever won that one went on to play at 9:30. I see. Okay.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry, Joe.
That's okay.
Are you sad the season's over?
I am.
Yeah.
But but the end of that season means we're just pretty much right there at the old football season. So
That's so true.
The who's that song where it's like some other beginnings and
Probably Dolly Parton.
oh man.
Yeah. We learned right before recording this.
Yeah, I don't know how to make light of this. Well, I'm not going to make light of it, but like
Oh boy.
Usually we're like, news happened right as we recorded. This one we were able to get before we started
This one
recording.
happened before we recorded.
But I do think, Dolly, she passed away at the age of 80 and pretty much was relevant and killing it and just America's sweetheart up until the very end. I remember my first introduction to Dolly Parton was on a snowboarding video because when I was young, I used to be obsessed with snowboarding and I would get all these like snowboarding DVDs. And there was an edit that was set to Jolene.
Ooh.
Which was like weird. Like my stepdad, I remember coming down and like I'm 12 years old watching a snowboarding video. He's like, is that Jolene? And I was like, I don't know. That was pretty cool 1080, right, Kurt? Anyway. But then I was like, the song rules. And then I got into Dolly Parton after that. So.
That's nice. I don't have a story about Dolly Parton. May she rest in peace.
You can't laugh after
because
you say that.
we mentioned, we're like, yeah, we'll briefly mention it.
Yeah.
And then you go into a whole story about your first memory of Dolly. And I'm like sitting here like, we didn't discuss this. I have none. Alas, bummer. It's a bummer. She's gone.
It's going to keep going on from here. Don't worry. We're only going to tackle other insane topics on this that we're going to have to do.
This episode is going to be wild with the topics we're going to talk about. So this is not a good start.
Anyway, anything else you want to talk about this week? Because I got topics on topics.
I know. Just talk about yours, and then we'll see how much time we have for me.
Great. So a couple other things I want to get out of the way. As we all know, I'm obsessed with police chases.
Yeah.
Good week for police chases. And
Yeah.
when I say good, I mean like there were a lot of police chases. No one got hurt. Nothing was bad.
Oh, boy.
But Stu Meindl, KTLA helicopter pilot, the fact that I know these things is crazy.
Dude.
Follow Stu on Instagram. It's a good follow. I showed Des some of his videos. He's crazy.
He's so funny.
Like, he'll just be like, oh, like commenting on other cars during the pursuits, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So this pursuit, there was a car that was driving around, and what they always say is if you get caught up in one of these pursuits, you're on the highway or the road and someone's driving by, do not get involved. You pull over, get out of the way, let the police and everyone do their job, right? Because you don't want to try and be like, oh, I'm going to be a hero and stop it, because you don't know what these crazy people have. They might hurt you or hurt other people. There are cars pulling out of the way during this police chase, and Stu on air is actively like, oh, no, get in there, block him. You got a chance to block him. And the other, like, news anchors are like, nope, Stu, don't. We must inform you, you should not get involved in police chases. And Stu's like, I know, but he was right there. And then, like, they cut, and then they came back, and Stu was no longer doing the police chase. He still works there, but I think they had to pull him off and be like, you cannot tell innocent people to try and stop police chases.
Because I will. I'll block them.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
The siren chaser?
Yeah.
Definitely do it. So that was crazy. Speaking of cars, Des saw this when we were going over the notes. We were going to a friend's bar on Sunday, and we were caravanning there, so Des was driving and I was driving, and I almost rear-ended Des.
He put this in, like, because in our warm-up, we have bullet points of, like, little things that happened throughout the week, and I was reviewing it and says, Drew almost rear-ended Des on Sunday, and I go, what did you just do? When did this happen?
When we were driving, when we got off.
I know, you just.
We
mentioned we were driving.
Off the 10.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm not blaming, because this happened not at the same time that Des pulled this insane U-turn.
Yeah, I didn't know where I was going.
I was like, where the hell is she going? But some of that was, I had the instructions up, the directions is what they're called, and I was going to follow the directions. Des was going a way that the directions were not
I was
telling
going the
us
wrong
to
way.
go. We were supposed to get out the highway and turn left. Des was in the right lane, so I was like, oh, this is weird, but she's in the right lane. You can turn right on red. I looked back at the directions to see if Des was seeing something that I didn't see, assumed that she was going to keep going. She didn't, because there were cars coming. So I just was looking at the directions and had my foot kind of off the gas. Look up, Des is not driving, have to do a quick jolt. It wasn't as close as, like, it wasn't like I was right on her ass, but it was close. And I just kept thinking, what would happen if I
That's the thing. What would happen?
I would pay for all of it.
That'd
obviously.
You know what's wild? And we're really not going to get into this, but I've had this happen with a friend, and we were no longer friends.
Oh, okay. Well, that's because weird stuff happened afterwards.
There's a lot of weird stuff. It was in college, and I don't want to go into details. You have to speak to my lawyer. I have a cease and desist. No, I don't. I should. No, I don't.
But Des is very, like, as she should be, precious about people driving her car. Like, she had a really cool, fun car before the car that she has now, which is an even cooler, fun car. I don't know how much you want to say.
Yeah, I have a Ford Bronco.
Okay, well, you want people to know you live in Los Angeles. So now we know that.
I didn't want them to know I live on 2nd and Plymouth.
She doesn't.
I don't. That's not a
I
thing.
know, but I wasn't going to say that, but I was going to say, like, the city.
Okay, sure.
That's not LA. It doesn't matter.
Got it.
So, yeah, she had a really nice car before that. Now she has her dream car, Ford Bronco.
Dream car, guys.
Anyway.
So if Drew rear-ended it, that would be fun.
It'd be bad.
For our friendship.
It'd be really, really bad.
Really bad.
So, I didn't, and everything's fine. Okay. Des, you got a new rug.
Okay. That's Drew's updates. We had police chase.
We'll have one more big update Not really an update, but just like a thing. I'll say. You want me to say it now?
Sure.
This is not starting off well, guys. August 25th. Oh yeah. Did you want to guess? Do you think you know what it is?
Yes, but continue.
August 25th, 2015. Bright-eyed Drew pulled in to the city of Los Angeles for the first time 11 years ago today.
Wow.
Today is my LA anniversary.
Yep.
And I have been in this town for 11 years.
That was my guess. Because Drew mentioned, he's like, today's exciting. And I was like, I don't know. Don't tell me. Wait until the pod. But then it came to me.
Yeah.
11 years, man.
11 years, I know.
Okay.
Look at me now, man.
Look at you now. Which is almost, you're getting to almost half your life here. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that a sad or bad?
No,
what was that response?
I don't know. It's just like, wow, that's a long time.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I feel good. It's my home. I love it.
But
here.
that's what you just did. There's a lot of people in LA that have that response when they're like, yeah, I've been here for 10 years. And they go, yeah. And I'm like, why are we doing that?
I think for me, and I would not trade anything. I am super happy with where I am. But I think you have an idea of where you think you'll be in 10 years and you set all these goals and then they don't happen. But then different goals that you never even set are happening, which is what's happening. So that's fine. But I think it's just like, whoa.
Yes, but I also think it could have happened if you never moved out of Colorado, home of the Denver Broncos, your favorite team. Like, I think it could, but you don't have a benchmark of, oh, this is when I moved XYZ. Like, if you always stayed in Colorado, you could still be like, man, I really want to have this job in 10 years and be making this salary. And 10 years later at 40, you're not making that. It could still have that same effect. Like, it's really interesting because I don't know. I have friends that have always responded like that when they talked about how long they've been here and talk about it in a negative way. And it's like, this is a whole new state. There's lots of opinions about this state and city, but I have found a great community out here. I love what I do out here. Sure, Drew and I became friends out here, I guess. And the thing is like, Colorado will one day be my home. I could see it in the future happening again.
Whoa, that's big news. You just dropped.
I don't think so. I think I've said it. I'm going back. And we've talked about this.
That's true.
But I think the 11 years, that's like so exciting. And if it's easy to discredit how far you have come in those 11 years.
That's true. 100%.
You know what I mean?
And this isn't to say anything about like one is good or one is bad, but like there's a lot of people that we moved out here with that aren't here anymore, and they're doing their own things and they're super happy. And
totally,
like, that's good. That's not good or bad. It's just a comment of like, oh yeah, wow,
yeah, which is nice.
No, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh wow. So for the audio audience, I'm still alive. And an intruder hasn't entered the studio.
I'm crying.
So, Des, a lot of things just happened. I held in a burp that Des saw me hold in. And then Des had this weird look on her face. Some would describe it as joy, even elation. And I was like, this is a weird face and feeling for Des to have after being mad that I'm burping. Then I'm looking down the barrel of what I thought was a squirt gun, which is even crazier that I'm looking at two very expensive MacBook computers and two even more expensive high-quality podcast microphones. And my first thought was, Des is going to shoot me with a water gun. But that's what my brain was doing. I was like, oh, this is going to be funny. She's going to, like a bad cat or dog. No, bound down. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to get sprayed with water. No, I don't. I get clocked in the face with one of the biggest Nerf darts I've ever seen.
My stomach hurts.
This thing is huge. And it hit me in the cheek. And
I have been waiting 3 weeks to do this. 3 weeks.
Have you had that for every episode?
No.
Okay.
I bought it 3 weeks ago. So Connor, our friend Connor McRaith, not McKinley, McRaith.
Big distinction because McKinley's also obsessed with Nerf guns.
Well, and also bits. So last
That's
year,
true.
Connor McKinley did the whole plant bit. Don't worry. Are you scared I'm going to do it again? I have another dart.
Please don't. I get it. It kind of hurt.
I know. I didn't mean to shoot you in the face. More was supposed to be a chest hit. It was supposed to be somewhere else. No.
That'd be funnier.
Was it that hard?
It wasn't. I think more the shock of it. You could take that dart out of the gun, please.
So Connor McRae, he goes, we should like it wasn't this exactly, so I'm probably mixing up his words, but he's like, we should, like, you need to treat Drew like a Pavlovian dog, like squirt him every time he burps. And I was like, I can't do that. There's expensive equipment, but I can shoot him with a Nerf gun every time he burps. So it scares him into never burping again. And that is the bit that I have done.
Pavlov's dog rang a bell, and then Pavlov fed it. Okay? It was positive reinforcement, not negative. Let me first get that out of the way.
No, it's Pavlov's cat.
No,
the cat is the opposite of the dog thing. So he did the opposite of the cat.
I think Schrodinger had a cat.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to so it's locked and loaded. I don't know how to do that. So
happy anniversary. Oh my god. All right, that was cool.
Oh,
so
boy.
All my friends are just planning against me and Des. It's me against the world.
Yeah.
And all these bits.
It was a good bit. Sorry for almost killing you.
No, it's okay.
Are you okay now?
I'm fine. This won't fit anywhere. I was going to try and put it somewhere.
Give it back.
No, absolutely not.
Oh. Well, you think I only have one more dart?
No.
Then just give it back. I was right. I only have this dart. So there's 2 darts with this gun. So I needed that dart back. Thank you so much.
Do you want to talk about your stupid rug?
Not really.
Okay, great.
We can get right into it. You want to talk about your Dolphins?
This is a good way.
Are you still shocked? Are you still scared? What's happening?
Well, no. I think if you really want, you can shoot me again for what I'm about to say. I have a confession to make, Sportsball Nation.
It's going to piss me off. I know it.
I hardly watched this preseason game.
Oh, my God. And you know how I found this out, Sportsballers, is because I watched it. I watched the end of it because I had something from like 1 to 3 and it was like a 1 to 4 game. So I got home around 3 and I put it on. At the very end, there was a play that happened. Taj Washington, who was a punt receiver. Is that what it's called?
Punt returner.
Gee, oh my God. Punt returner. On the Dolphins, he muffed it. He was going for it. He dropped it, and the Giants got on like the 5-yard line to score yet again. Game, right? Yeah, it was like 27-3 at that point. So they could, or 23. They could score again very easily, and there was like 2 minutes left. Luckily, Harbaugh, he knelt and didn't want to score more points. I thought that was very noble of him, right?
Yeah, they're playing a little league team.
Sure. But I was about to mention, did you see, it was like Jalen something, put his arm around Taj Washington on the sidelines, and I was like, oh my God, my heart is breaking. Like, Taj, like, he's not happy about obviously. Yeah. But I said that, and Drew was like, has this look on his face? And I was like, what was going on? And he goes, I didn't watch it. And I was like, oh, the end. And he goes, I didn't watch the game. And your fan card revoked.
That's fair. That is fair. Now, my side of the story. I was going to go for a run on Saturday. And I also had to, write Dez's script. No, I'm kidding. Help Des write her script for her preseason Broncos game recap, as I am wont to do as a Broncos for Dummies producer and writer.
Okay, let's get to the point.
So after I wrote that, I was like, I gotta go for my run, but my run is probably gonna bump into the beginning of the Dolphins game. This is what I will do. I will go for my run, and then at the end of the run, I will start the Dolphins game from the beginning, because usually you can do that. I couldn't do that. I had to just watch it live. So I turn on the game as I'm walking, cooling down from my run, and I literally turn on the game as they're highlighting the only good thing that happened, which was Kevin Coleman's insane catch. And they're like, this was crazy. Kevin Coleman, wow, come making a name for himself. Next play, fumble. Muffed fumble. It was like I think it was a snap receiving fumble, running back. Someone fumbled and it was bad. That was the next thing I saw. Then the Giants went down and I think got a field goal. And I was like, I'm not watching this.
Oh, because of one bad play?
Yeah. Plus, I wanted to see if Malik Willis was in to give me some more wiggles. He was not. They didn't put him in the entire game. So I said, you know what? I will watch the condensed game footage. And I couldn't get through like 10 minutes.
Wow, bro.
So I hear you all, and I apologize. That being said, Sportsball podcast host and NFL media personality card revoked.
Yeah.
Fan card, not so much.
Oh my God.
Because I hardly would watch these games all the way through as a not this guy.
He's pointing to himself as a podcaster.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Whatever. Oh, you suffer enough. Continue.
So, all that being said, let me just tell you some of the things I missed. These are the things I missed that I missed out on watching my Dolphins team. I missed seeing them get 3 first downs. Total. 3 first downs in the entire 60-minute game. Okay? But good thing we moved the ball with penalty yards. We had more penalty yards, 59, than passing yards, total, 52, or rushing yards, 50. So these are the things I missed. Cam Miller, who Malik Willis didn't start, and Quinn Ewers is hurt. So Cam Miller, our now third-string quarterback, went 6 for 11 for 60 yards. He had that killer 30-yard completion to Kevin Coleman, and that was it. Mark Gronowski came in later, didn't do anything better. We fumbled all the time. Jalen Wright fumbled. It was Jalen Wright fumbled right after Kevin Coleman's big catch, and another fumble exchange on our own 25-yard line gave New York another field goal. So I missed all of that. We kept going 3 and out and turning the ball over, so the defense was on the field the entire time. And the defense, to be fair, gave up 23 points. Being on the field the entire time, third, fourth stringers, I'll call that a win. These are the things, these are the things I missed. The beautiful things that I missed. Do you know what I like about this team? Is our coach, Jeff Hafley. Hafley. I'm going to call him half full Hafley.
Okay.
Because he is a cup half full kind of guy.
All right.
He was talking about everything, and he, first of all, said the reserve group had sloppy execution, pre-snap penalties, lack of detail. They did not play well. But he also said he found a lot of positives in looking at the tape. You know what you have, and you know what you don't have. And you know what? I'm going to use a little example here. Remember Malaysian Flight 370, MH370? Disappeared. No one knows where it is. I've gone down big rabbit holes. They've done a lot of underwater submarine searching, and they haven't found anything. And people find that very frustrating. But other scientists have said, you know what? We know where it isn't. Hafley looks at all this tape and says, we now know what we don't have.
We don't. And is that everything?
Maybe. But we know things. And Hafley's looking at that positively. So half full Hafley. That's my new nickname for him.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, most of our starters didn't play. Some of our defensive starters did, but like Willis didn't play. Achane didn't play. A lot of our rookie receivers who are probably going to be starting because we don't have any receivers played, and they did okay. That's fine. So, I don't know what Hafley's going to do with next. Actually, this game's Thursday, I think.
Yeah.
Against the Dirty Birds.
The Falcons,
the Atlanta
baby.
Falcons. Why is that interesting, Des?
Well, because the Broncos just whooped them, and also because Tua's the quarterback.
Tua's on the team. Now, we're going to get into more specifics about what's interesting about this because Tua Tagovailoa, my old quarterback, has been playing most of the first team snaps and kind of looking like the starter. But the reason is because Michael Penix Jr. has been hurt and hasn't been fully cleared. He's just officially been fully cleared to practice fully.
Okay.
So now we got a real QB1 battle. So I don't know what's going to happen. Talk about knowing things we don't and things we do. I don't really care too much about what my team looks like I just want to see my team make Tua not look good.
And I think he's going to do that himself.
That's fine.
I don't even know if your team needs to do much.
Fine by me. Fine by me.
Wow, it's the juxtaposition of man. Last week you were
Duality
riding high.
of man.
Is
Sorry.
it that?
Yeah.
What's juxtaposition?
I mean, opposites.
Yeah.
But the saying is the duality of man.
But you're the opposite right now.
I contain multitudes.
Yeah. Last week, my point is.
Sorry?
Last week, you were so high. You were wiggling.
I was.
You were a wiggle.
You know why I couldn't wiggle?
Because Willis wasn't in.
I know.
But he could have been in, and you missed it because you didn't watch it.
But I would have.
You know for sure he did not play at all. Mm-hmm. The gun's on the ground, don't worry.
Wow, I thought I did really well with that one.
Drew, I know when it's not... do you know what you look like when you burp?
I don't know what I look like at all. I try to avoid mirrors at all costs. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man. I mean, it's fine because I'm in the loser's lounge with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever. So I feel the sadness. I'm right there with you, Drew.
No, you're not.
I feel your pain.
No, you don't.
I feel a sliver of your pain.
No, you don't.
I feel a speck of your pain.
Whatever.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for this week's, though, for you.
Me too. You know what? While you talk about the Broncos, I'm going to see if Hafley has said anything about if Willis is going to play or if any of the other starters are going to play this game. So.
Okay.
But yeah.
May I go?
Get in there.
Okay. All right. It's time to talk about the Denver Broncos. Before I get into it, right after we wrapped last week, a new story broke about Bo Nix and Nick Bonitto getting into a fight. Literally, we wrapped recording and I looked down on my phone and that was the first news story that popped up. I was like, oh, cool. So we're talking about a week late. But basically, last week, this one practice was super hot and spicy between all the Broncos players. Like the offense was bickering with the defense and vice versa. Either way, during the team period, Nick Bonitto, Malcolm Roach, and Jonathan Cooper collapsed the pocket, causing Bo Nix to be knocked to the turf. And Drew, what have we always said?
Do not touch the quarterback, especially Bo Nix.
And they did that.
They touched him all up.
So then after getting up, Nix threw the football like basically at them. I don't think he hit them, but like threw the football in their direction as the defense were like, yeah, we did it. So then seconds later, Alex Singleton, he picked off a Knicks pass, and basically a multiplayer scrum broke out on the opposite end of the field. So offense versus defense happening. They're just getting a little bickery fighting right now. Mm-hmm. Bonitto was near the top of the pile when Bo Nix ran over, grabbed Bonitto by one leg, and dragged him off the pile. Now, Bonitto was like, don't do that. And
Under
so,
no circumstances, do not
touch Nick Bonitto's leg and pull him off a pile is also what we've said. So once Bonitto figured out what was happening, he lunged at Nix, and then everyone was like holding Bonitto back because like Nix is, I can say this as Nick Bonitto's like number one fan. Mm-hmm. Nix is the most important person on this field. So yeah, hold him back. So either way, it was this huge thing and it created all of these headline waves. But the thing that wasn't really talking about was this pile, right? There's a pile of players. Once the pile cleared, Calvin Throckmorton, who's like the third string center. We have some center woes, and I'll get into that. But he emerged from the bottom of the pile without his helmet, bleeding above his eye. And no one's talking about Calvin right now.
Hell yeah. I think that's awesome.
Just bleeding blood from his head, and everyone's... his eye.
Well, you said bleeding blood.
Bleeding blood instead of bleeding heart and soul.
Yeah, that's good.
So, anyways, both players returned to finish practice. Afterwards, it was Nix's turn at the podium. They rotate turns through players. And Nick said about it, he said, I love the competitive fire, calling it standard dog days of summer, intensity to get ready for real games. Vance Joseph reminded that the defense taking down the quarterback is unacceptable. Vance Joseph, yes, I agree with that. So last week that happened. Bonitto hasn't commented on it at all on social media or elsewhere. it seems like everything's fine.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. And there's like half of Broncos country that was like, I love this. I love this. It shows that you care and there's fire and things like that.
What did I say to you when we got to
What'd you
training
say?
camp last week?
You really want to see a fight.
I want to see a little, I didn't say fight. I said I want to see a little like.
And then I was like, you want to see a fight? And you're like, yeah.
Just a little tiff.
No. The thing is like, I don't like it. There has not been a fight this big since Sean Payton has become head coach. Like I went back, I looked down the archives, and who knows if I'm missing something. But since 2023, Sean Payton he doesn't let this happen. Yeah. And also, it's like, yeah, you love the fire, and a lot of people are like, oh, it means you have a good team, and that's where the fire is. Well, the Dolphins and Giants got in a fight at their joint practice.
Like, a lot of big fights.
All of their players, a lot of fights.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that is equatable for reasons.
Gave fire to the Giants.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So that happened last Tuesday, and we just had to talk about it. Second sort of little thing before we go into the preseason game. So the NFL Top 100 is a list of 100 players that is voted on by fellow players. It's voted on anonymously by all the players in the NFL, and then they say, this is who I think is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then players that get the most votes, they rank them. So all throughout the offseason, the NFL releases these players. And for the second year in a row, PS2 is ranked number 10, so in the top 10, and he's the only Bronco player to be in the top 10, in the top 100, which is super exciting. We not only had PS2 ranked in the top 100. We had Nick Bonitto, number 32. Garrett Bowles, 42. Bo Nix, he made the bottom half, but at least made the top 100.
That's awesome. Second year?
Yep. Third year.
Third year is awesome.
Yeah. 59. Cortland Sutton, I think, made the top 100 for the first time at 68.
That's crazy.
What's your face?
It's this year, but Bo Nix's
they're voting it off of
was
his
last
second year. Yes. If you want to get in the nitty. Okay, yes, correct. And Zach Allen, or Sack Allen, 73. So we had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players.
Speaking of that, real quick, I'm defensive of Dez, and I not that she needs defending, but
yeah,
a lot of people get on her case a lot for different videos, and specifically when she met Nick Bonitto last in New York. People are like, you're saying his name wrong, you're spelling his name wrong. Dez knows his name legally is Bonitto. And the person who said that is, you spelled his name wrong, you said his name wrong, spelled his name wrong.
Yeah.
So we love all of our fans on Dummies and Sportsball. You're an idiot, whoever you are. That being said, when Dez says Nick Bonitto constantly, because she's pretty much only calling him that from now on, it's a pun, it's a joke. Bay. Our Bay. It's her Bay. So just everyone chill out. Go ahead.
Thanks, Drewski.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. We talked about this last week.
We did? Oh. Well, sorry. I have a concussion because you shot me in the face with the world's biggest Nerf dart in the world.
I was really trying to find smaller Nerf guns, and they didn't sell them on Amazon.
Oh, no, let's be clear. The gun's normal size.
It's only one. And then, when we were in Colorado in October, I texted McKinley. I said, can you bring me a Nerf gun that you do not want anymore?
I saw that.
Well, when?
I saw the gun.
Well, the big one.
No, I remember
the small
seeing
one?
that. Yeah.
Well, so you had no idea.
No, I had no idea. But I was like, are we doing Nerf
But
fights?
typically they just play Nerfs at night. You know, they're 30-year-old men. Anyways, so I was like, bring it. And then he goes, but you can't. You have to check it, which I didn't think in advance. Because you can't have a Nerf gun and carry on.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's a literal gun.
And we didn't. We're what do we call it?
We're carry-on queens.
Carry-on queens.
And
yeah.
I was like, oh, God, I guess I'll buy one on Amazon. It was like $15. Either way, but that was going to be much smaller for you.
Link in bio for that gun, because it works very well. $15 on Amazon. Are you kidding me?
So, getting into the brass tacks of the Denver Broncos. The Broncos loss. So, unfortunately, both of us at this table are in the Losers Lounge this week.
It's a fake Losers Lounge. Preseason Losers Lounge.
Yeah.
Losers Lounge.
Yeah, it's not. It's fine. This was the first time we saw Bo Nix out on the field, which was really exciting. It's the first time since he was injured after the Bills game. And little did we know that was the last time we were going to see him on the field, because then he didn't play in the AFC Championship. But either way, the biggest story of the offseason is Bo Nix going to be able and back to his good old self. And we haven't really been able to see much during training camp because they keep training camp so under lock. It's insane. No photos or videos. I was texting at training camp.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. Lower your phone. Woman, I swear. Anyways, it's fine. I've gone over it. But we finally got to see him. And Jalen Waddle play for the first time. And boy, was it electric.
That was awesome.
It's pretty cool. So the unfortunate thing is the Packers got the ball first and they drove it all the way down. Our defense was like, you know what? Go ahead. Go through. It was quite astounding because I thought better of our first string defense. And I was like, there's no way. But then looking back at it, I'm happy that happened because there was a part of this game that I was like, maybe did we come in too cocky, coming like with the beat down against the Falcons? I like that this happened for this game, and the defense sort of got tossed around. Even though we almost had a turnover for the second play, and Riley Moss recovered it, but then he went out with a rib injury, which he's fine. It seems like a minor injury. I doubt he's going to play this week, but I'm fairly certain, off of nothing other than my own intuition, that he's going to be back for week 1.
Great.
So we're good on that. The overall for this game, it's so hard to watch preseason if you don't have battles happening, right? We talked about the quarterback battle. We talked about wide receiver battles, running back battles. We don't really have that. It's easy to see what we're missing, is what Drew said earlier.
Yeah, you know what you do and don't have.
No, you know what you do have. That was your main point. And I'm saying it's easy to look at what I don't have.
That's what I said.
You said, but it's half.
It's like the plane. We know where it isn't.
Okay. Well, it's like the Broncos. I know where they aren't doing well. And where they aren't doing well is the center position.
Yeah.
Calvin Throckmorton also was in the game after bleeding from his head on Tuesday. So this guy was, and he's also our third string. So he's after Luke Wattenberg, which also, mind you, starting center Luke Wattenberg and backup Alex Forsyth, second string, they are both missing significant time with undisclosed injuries. All right. And then there's Calvin Throckmorton. Oh my God, third stringer Michael Dieter.
Yeah.
Suffered a season-ending quad injury during training camp. So I guess.
So Throckmorton actually is a guard.
And they put him into center.
So not only is he's fourth string technically, but he's not even playing his natural position. Now, offensive linemen, this is you can move them around a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not like a wide receiver then going to play running back. Yeah. But still, this isn't his natural position.
Right. So you could tell that the offensive line wasn't as strong. And our O-line is like one of the top in the NFL, like top 5 easy. But the thing is the undisclosed injuries, I was like, why are we not disclosing these? This is so weird.
That's Sean Payton, man.
So I looked it up.
Everything.
Yes. So during the preseason and offseason, you do not have to disclose injuries. So they're undisclosed. And Luke Wattenberg is back in practice though this week.
Good.
So he's back at it. But the thing is you don't have to disclose injuries until the season starts.
And then you have to close them.
And then you have to close the injuries. So either way, my main takeaway, center needs help. Special teams overall, I do not know what Darren Rizzi is doing. Sean Payton brought him in to be like, let's revamp special teams. And like every time I watch special teams, I'm like, what are we revamping? It's not good. It's not good. It's mediocre. Like I'm saying all this, like I'm talking about the Dolphins. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. It's just there. I don't know how to I could say it like I'm talking about, what's another bad team?
The
just name one.
Saints.
Great. They're actually not. We're going to talk about them. They're actually on the up and up.
And so are the Dolphins.
Okay, cool. So this is all mediocre stuff. Special teams needs penalties. We had double the amount of penalties than the Packers did. And these are all, Bonitto even had one where he, it was neutral zone infraction, and you could see him start to go, and he's like, oh no, I shouldn't go, and then fell in slow motion. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I was like, oh, you bay, whatever. So penalties, center, special teams overall, we need to stop the run. The Packers were running the ball all the way down the field like it was a piece of cake. So that was concerning. And also I would like to see us run. So those things were my main takeaways. I would love to see it all happen. I think we came out of the Falcons too cocky. I'm happy this happened with the Packers and not with our first week playing the Chiefs. Like, I'm happy we got to play a harder team, a playoff team like the Packers. But it is such a bummer to lose at homecoming because last time we were at homecoming, Bo injured his ankle, was out, and then we come back to Mile High and he's back and his ankle is better, but we lose. So those are sort of my main takeaways over the game. I know. And this week we face the Vikings, which have not been doing well either. So I hope it's a good thing. What?
We're together in this. We're the same, you and I.
Yeah, facing bad teams next week.
And faced teams last week. We both faced teams last week. And we both lost at home.
Okay.
And we have a lot of things to clean up, and we feel really positive about week 1 against the Raiders and week 1 against the Chiefs.
Wow. You know what? I'll take that, Drew. I'll be in misery with you for a sec.
Misery loves company. That's what they always say.
Yes. I need you to promise me, though, you'll watch the game this week.
Well,
you're going to work.
I can't. I know.
Oh, my God. So Drew has not been able to watch a single preseason game?
Well, I was able to watch.
Oh, my God. That is actually more infuriating. Whatever. Okay. I think it's time for the league catch-up.
League catch-up. I'm really sorry. So, a really crazy thing happened.
Are you good? Do you need me to take over?
No, I think I got it.
Okay. Oh my God.
You should go.
Yeah, I agree. College football 5th year option dramas.
What is this?
I know. It's pretty crazy. So the news was released that there is a handful of players currently in the NFL, and they're rookies, that now, based off a ruling from a Louisiana judge, that it's like 16 players can now return back to college. And it has sent shockwaves. And why this is happening is because they're part of the 2022 class. So that means they joined college in 2022. From when they joined, there wasn't the 5th year option that you could play 5 years of football or 5 seasons of football in 5 years. Because like the 5-5 is very specific because you can't play 5 seasons of football in 7 years, right? It's 5 for 5. So they joined in 2022 when you had to enter the NFL after year 4. And then while they're the last class to not be grandfathered into this 5th year option. So basically a judge this week was like, you know what? No, you are allowed to have the 5th year option. So if you want, you can go back to college and play 1 more year. Now, a bunch of these players have been playing with these teams since April, May, even undrafted free agents. They have been playing with this NFL team for at least 3 months. And there's a handful of players that either they have been cut or they are looking like they're going to get cut. And some maybe not even looking like they'll get cut, but are choosing to go back to college and play. And why this is such a big deal is a ton of football players, for instance, I was watching Shannon Sharp talk about this, and he was like, if you even spend a month at the NFL level, the stuff you learn as a football player, it's more than 4 years of college in the football world. So you're going back with so much more knowledge and about to play these 18-year-old kids when you just played the best of the best. Like, they have this huge leg up. And what does this look like? Does that mean they get to enter the draft next year? Does this mean they're never going to be drafted by that team that dropped them again? There's a ton of question marks, but I think the biggest thing about this is the only year it can happen. This is the only 2022 class that can do this. So after this year can never happen again. Players cannot go back to college. But I don't know. I mean, and it's also, what's crazy is some players can go back to college and get paid more in college to play than in NFL because college is so unregulated. You think the NFL is a juggernaut. Think about college where it's like you have donors. Like, NFL doesn't really have donors. They have like sponsorships and ad partnerships. But there can be a billionaire that went to LSU and is like, I want to give you $1 million for this player. Like, it's so... there's no regulation.
So, and kind of what Des is talking about, to kind of do a quick like backstory on this, the NIL, which is what they called name, image, and likeness, was a ruling that happened a couple years ago that basically allowed college players to start making money on their name, image, and likeness. So you can't basically get like a contract from LSU or Alabama or whatever, but what you can do is make money off your TikTok, make money off your Instagram. A local pizza company can use you as a spokesperson. You can make money. Now, why that's big is...
Because also prior to this moment, you couldn't.
And there were really, really kind of messed up stories about players getting in trouble for... There was a specific one, and I'm going to butcher it, but roughly like a kicker for a team had a YouTube channel about car mechanics. He was like a car fixer-upper, and he had monetized that YouTube channel. It had nothing to do with football, but because you are playing, you're considered an amateur, you cannot make money. He was penalized by the NCAA for making money off of a monetized YouTube channel about fixing cars. So it has overcorrected.
Which, I mean, so you can't make money at all. That's... YouTube is a job.
I know, but what they're saying is your job is football. You work for us. We're giving you a full ride scholarship. I'm not saying it's right.
I know,
but that's their thing. Now, what's even more messed up, and a lot of people who are pro NIL and who have been kind of anti the college football experiment, is that these colleges and the colleges themselves make a gabajillion dollars, because even though it's amateur, their TV rights deals, their stadium deals, their apparel merchandising deals are all done like professional deals. None of that money, where the media rights and the merchandise and the posters and all that stuff in the NFL, some of that money gets funneled into the NFL and goes back to the players. That was not happening. So the only people making money in this situation was the college themselves and the coaches who get paid. So now there's a chance that a lot of these players can go back and use NIL and make really good money. I mean, Quinn Ewers, our backup quarterback last year, basically was going to make more money going back. He could have gone back to Texas last year and played his final year and made a bunch of money.
But not in the same way that we're talking about. Like right? Because he couldn't have gone back. This is the 1 year you can go back.
Before he either was going to declare for the draft, which he did, or opt to not declare for the draft. That's a good clarification. And I'm going to probably get this kind of wrong, but colleges can't outright like pay players. They can't be like, come here, we'll give you a bunch of money. But colleges can like funnel money through, and it's like kind of done out in the open, through these NIL deals, and like basically pay companies to pay players to come here and do that. So
unregulated, like at some point it's all going to snap.
But it needed to happen because these players weren't making any money.
1,000%.
But it has and there's no regulation. Exactly. And so it's kind of, a lot of people are like, well, told you so. Now it's a shit show.
Yeah, but okay, well, let's have them. And also I was about to not agree with myself, because I was about to be like, why are these college kids 20 years old making $10 million playing football? But then I was like, well, it's college football. I mean, we're not in the demographic of like America where it's very focused on college football, but like the South is typically, I feel like South and like upper Midwest, like those two areas, college football ride or die over NFL. I
mean, I won't do it, but if you look at like the top 8, top 10 largest, like by seating capacity and like football stadiums, a majority of them are college stadiums, not NFL stadiums.
Yeah.
Like this is huge in a lot of places. And so yes, I hear you, but there is so much money in this that the people who are producing the money aren't getting any of.
Yeah. Well, and then I'm devil's advocate for all of this. Like, I was watching, so there's this guy, Jack Pyburn, Pyburn. He's on the Bucks, and he had 2 sacks last week in his game against the Jets. And he's one of the players that he's among the group seeking an NFL release to claim a 5th college season. So you're telling me this player that just had 2 sacks in the NFL is about to go play college kids? And it's also risky if you're one of this, because also it's not just stopping at 16 players. It could get to as many as like 30 to 40. They're saying it could really expand. If you go back to college, there's 2 things. Either you ball out and it's the best season ever. We still don't know what's going to happen for the draft or like what the NFL is going to do about this 5th year thing. Or 2, you're awful, and then people are going to be like, dude, you were just in the NFL and now you're awful in college, and you ruin all chances of making it back.
But devil's advocate to that, if these are bubble players who are probably going to, if not they know for a fact they're going to get cut, it's a gamble. They can go back, use the stuff that Shannon Sharp was saying, learn, have a better season, get good tape out there, and have a chance to come back and play even better. It's a gamble. You can also do that, have a great 3 or 4 games, and then blow out your knee. Like, that's the same reason a lot of players won't play like bowl games in college because they're about to go to the NFL. They don't want to risk one more game and hurt themselves. So it's the whole thing's a gamble.
I know. So it's keep a little pulse on it, a little finger on the pulse, and because I'm interested to hear more about it. And
I think one thing that as of now, Daquan Wright, who's a tight end who was playing with the Browns, is the first player who the Browns have officially released him, but not like released him because he was bad, but just said, we're releasing you from the team, granting you the option to go. And so he's the first player to actually, he's going back. He has pretty much like agreement with Ole Miss to go back and play.
I saw Todd Monken, the Browns coach, talking about that though, and he basically, what Todd was saying is he was like, yeah, I mean, he wasn't really practicing because of a injury, and that's about as much as I know. And he suited up for one preseason game, and then this came about. So I wish I saw more of the kid. Like, sort of like, yeah, he wasn't practicing because of some type of injury. It was odd the way Todd Monken was talking about it.
Interesting.
So I don't know if he agrees with the decision, because basically, like, he didn't even give the NFL a shot. So I'm curious if, I don't know. There's a lot of question marks around this, and it's going to keep evolving as the weeks go on, and how many rookies are going to go back to college for this. So
you heard it here first. I don't know. A lot of question marks.
Yep. Hope that helps. The second story, the biggest story, I feel like, from preseason week 2, Deshaun Watson of the Browns, speaking of the Browns, has been named the starter for the 2026 season. And it all started with his press conference on Saturday after the game, where
didn't play that well.
He played awful.
Sure.
He's so bad. He has been so bad for so long, for so many years. Since he came to the Browns, bad.
Yeah.
Just awful.
Yeah.
Awful. Anyway, Saturday, press conference. They're sort of talking about like what's going on, because if you missed it, Deshaun Watson stepped onto the field, and after like second or third throw, fans start booing him. And
Cleveland Brown fans. It's in Cleveland.
In Cleveland. And they're like, what's your opinion on these fans booing you? And he goes, I think the whole world knows it has nothing to do about the performance. It's a little bit more personal than that. I think that's a disrespectful thing. Okay. He then went on to call out fans for cheering when he originally tore his Achilles on the field, saying, what does that have to do with the performance when a person gets hurt, especially for your own city, and they cheer? Talking about 2 years ago in 2023, he tore his Achilles, and the crowd cheers. The crowd cheers because finally Deshaun Watson is out. He added that he gets more love on road games, and then someone asked, how does it feel to play 17 away games this season? And he's like, basically, it's not great. before we go back into how Deshaun Watson replied to this, Todd Monken was asked after Deshaun was saying these things about the booing. And Todd basically says, it's not great, but if we play better, if you play better, if a quarterback plays better, then you're not going to get booed. Basically saying, yeah, it sucks when you're getting booed, but do better, dude. I think I'm starting to like Todd Monken.
Yeah, you said he's like kind of like
he's a goofy guy,
rough, but he's got some kind of like quips.
Yeah, the more I see stuff about him, especially because this Browns thing is circulating, I'm like, I think I like this guy. So obviously Saturday, after everyone's seen that, and Deshaun Watson basically, to sum it up, saying, Browns fans, I don't F with you. Yeah. None of that. You don't like me. I don't like you. It's clear. Which is the first time that anyone can think of in NFL history, a player turning their back on an organization, and most specifically your quarterback, the face of your team, turning their back on the fan base. So obviously, I'm sure you can guess it went well. Yeah. Everyone was so happy about that.
So that happened on Saturday. Then shortly after, so this was not yet happened. That happens. Then he is named the starter.
Monday morning,
he's officially named the starter. And because this happens, obviously they hold a press conference. You're the starter. So he goes into a 2.5-minute monologue attempting to smooth over his comments over the weekend. First off, I want to address the comments from Saturday after the game. I think just human nature, myself being very emotional, I thought I was going to get a little different response. That's not an apology. That's you saying, I said some things. I guess it wasn't taken well. Sorry, I punched you in the head. Sorry, I shot you in the face with a dart gun.
Okay.
I thought you were going to like it.
Well, I didn't think you'd like it.
He admitted his tenure in Cleveland hasn't gone as planned, citing a lot of injuries, a lot of time off, and not playing the best football, while insisting his intent wasn't to attack the city or the fan base. Well, that's exactly what you did and said you did. You did. God, I hate this guy.
Yes. And I thought it was very important, as Drew and I were talking about this story, I said, I need a refresher because all I know is I hate Watson. All I know is I hate him, right? As a human. But then I was like, but what was the history of this guy? Why did the Browns sign him? Like, I cannot remember. And so here's a walk down memory lane. So in 2017, he was drafted by the Texans, 12th overall out of Clemson. He had 19 passing touchdowns in week 1, 269 rushing yards in 7 games and 6 starts before he had a midseason ACL tear, cut his dominant rookie campaign short. One thing you're gonna hear a lot is how many injuries this guy has.
Yeah, aside from all the other stuff we're about to get into, injury prone is a thing that people talk about. He is injury prone.
Correct. So 2017, amazing start, and then he gets injured. So 2018, he's back with the Texans. He plays all 16 games. He earned his first Pro Bowl selection and led Houston to an 11-5 record and the AFC crown. He won the AFC South with the Texans in 2018. 2019, Drew.
He was selected to his second Pro Bowl after having another massive passing yards, 26 touchdowns, along with 7 rushing touchdowns, and he had a dramatic comeback victory against Buffalo in the wild card round before making it and losing to Kansas City in the divisional round. So another Pro Bowl season, another playoff appearance, and making it further to the divisional round. Now we get to 2020. Some things happen. COVID. Just kidding. Other shit happened. So this was statistically his best year. He led the entire NFL in passing yards with nearly 5,000, 33 touchdown yards to only 6 interceptions. Now, he...
despite his stats.
Yeah. So he made it to his third consecutive Pro Bowl. A really bad roster led them to a 4-12 finish, and it frustrated Watson, and he wanted to ask for a trade after that season. Now, in the middle of all this, 2021 happens. I
was waiting for
I know.
you. I was like, you keep saying 2020 is when it happened. I was like, no, it's not. I mean, the stuff, yes, but 2021 happens the year after is how
Yes.
it works, right?
That's fair.
Right.
That's how calendars
So
work.
January 2021, he requests a trade.
Yes.
Okay, finally, he said, I'm done with it. And shortly after,
Yeah.
this is when it all comes
Yes.
out. And what everyone knows Watson to be notorious, basically dozens of civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct surface, all right? He sat out the entire 2021 season due to legal matters and non-injury team decision, which is shocking for how many injuries this guy has had. So between March 2021 and late 2024, nearly 30 women, so in the span of 3 years, starting with 2021, brought civil lawsuits or formal allegations against Deshaun Watson, with 27 total civil suits officially filed in court filings in Texas. The mass majority of these civil cases were resolved through confidential financial settlements or dismissals. Basically, 2 separate Texas grand juries in 2022 declined to indict him on criminal charges. The lawsuits, primarily filed by independent female massage therapists across Texas, outline a consistent, repetitive pattern of behavior occurring between 2019 and 2021. Essentially, he sought out women via Instagram rather than using the Texans' official medical staff, hiring dozens of different therapists over a short amount of time frame.
And I want to jump in real quick.
Yep.
When that started happening, that was big because a lot of other professional players were saying not only do they stay with the team massage therapist, they're almost required to stay. The NFL has so many resources to them to keep your body right. Acupuncture, massage, chiropractic, all of this. The team has exactly what they need. To me, this is the beginning of him doing something wrong by seeking out random, and I don't disparage the quality of the masseuses, but random people on Instagram away from the team to do this because he knows that he has a better chance of attempting to do what he's alleged to be doing with random people, freelance massage therapists, than licensed actual team sanctioned masseuses.
I'm going to put a pin in this. So one of my really good friends, he is a massage therapist.
Yeah.
And did you know you do not want to call massage therapists masseuses?
Oh, I didn't. Thank you so much.
No, I didn't know this
Yeah.
either. But because masseuse has had such a negative
Interesting.
idea around it, specifically, I'm going to call a spade in the porn world. Typically, that's where you come from. So they're like, we're trying to separate ourselves. And it's ironic that we're talking about how we have to go from masseuse to massage therapist as we're talking about this guy that had a lot of bad things, did a lot of bad things happen with massage therapists. But I didn't know this, but I would have never known this if my friend wasn't a massage therapist. So they're trying to separate themselves.
Thank you for telling me that.
Well, of course, but the more you know.
So anyway.
Yes. So these allegations were Watson, he refused standard draping, wearing only a small towel, exposing himself, intentionally touching and rubbing himself against therapist hands and body during sessions, and then also like pressured women into other things happening in this room, right? That's the gist of it, because I get uncomfortable reading about it. It's gross, it's icky, and it's disgusting that a human being did this. No less a human being that's so in the spotlight. And then basically, as we fast forward to the Browns, they turn a blind eye to all of this, because what did we say? In 2021, all of 2021, he sat out at the Texans. And during 2021 is when he requested the trade. Not until 2022 was he traded to Cleveland, okay? There was an entire year for the Browns to be like, more and more women are coming out. You know what? He had a 4-12 record last year, and that's not good. But third Pro Bowl appearance, maybe it could be something. But he's sitting out all year, not due to injury, but because of all of these cases coming out. You know what? We're gonna sign him, and that is what's crazy. And on top of that, was it the highest contract ever signed at that time?
It was. They not only traded for him, but then once they got him, restructured and signed him to a 5-year, $230 million contract, making this person the highest paid quarterback at the time, one of the highest paid players in the NFL.
This disgusting, vile human. Let's call it how it is. Like, it's disgusting that an organization, and you look at ownership. There was a big part when I was watching his conference before I when he was talking about like the fans booing him and everything. And I had a moment, a single sliver of moment of empathy. And I was like, God, that sucks. Like to be so hated. And like, and you hear a lot about cancel culture and like, does anyone ever get a redemption arc? Yeah. If you're a shitty human being, you don't get a redemption arc, because in the press conference Saturday, after I sat with it more, he didn't show one single ounce of remorse, and also said during the press conference,
I don't have any regrets in life.
I don't have any regrets in life, because they go, do you regret saying what it was phrased like, do you regret saying that, or do you regret signing with the Browns, something like that. And he goes, I don't have any regrets in life. I have no regrets in life. And everyone was like, be somewhat aware of what the hell you're saying.
And on top of that, during 2021, 2022, 2023, around this time where it was a lot like still happening with these legal cases, people would ask him about it, and he would specifically say, or his lawyers would say, we cannot comment on active ongoing investigations. You're not gonna, I mean, I'm not saying he should do this. He should not be a piece of shit, but you're not going to say, I'm sorry, because apologizing immediately admits some kind of guilt. He's not, we said it. All of these cases have been filed in civil court or undisclosed settlements. They're done.
Nearly 30 women. This wasn't one woman coming forward, which is enough. This isn't 2 women. This isn't 3. This isn't 5. Yeah. It's nearly 30 people.
But on top of that, they're all done now.
Yes.
You can now say whatever the hell you want. And all you can say is, some things happened in the past, this is not, but he could say, it was misunderstood and I'm sorry about that. That's a massive blanket overstatement for being a piece of shit. But you can even say that. He doesn't acknowledge it in any way.
No.
And this is why, I've mentioned this in the past, the other team there were rumors aggressively going after Deshaun Watson were the Miami Dolphins. And I have said this, and I would still feel this way. If this man was on my team, I would be you want to ask how you can make me a Denver Broncos fan? Make a time machine and go back and have the Dolphins sign this piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because I could not and would not have this man on my team and wear that jersey and support an ownership group that would do that.
Yes, and I think that's a good segue into like where we land today with Browns fans, and just real quick, as his time as a football player on the Browns, because also I want to be very clear when he was saying they're not booing the performance, like it's personal. Let me talk about your performance then, Deshaun Watson. All right, 2022, when you were traded to Cleveland, you had an 11-game NFL suspension for what? Oh, for sexual misconduct with all of these women. All right, and that is a nice way of putting it. Yeah. I'm trying not to say the other one. He returned week 13, finished 3-3. All right. Okay, fine. You got 3-3. It was half. 2023, he started in 6 games until he had a season-ending injury in his shoulder. Okay, so that's cool. He finished with 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. All right. Bad. Very bad. So that's the next year. So season ending. So he has now played in 6 games 2022, 6 games 2023 because of injury. And 2022 was because of sitting out. 2024, he started in 7 games until season ending Achilles. And this is when all the fans cheered. Well, also, yeah, dude, because you can't stop getting injured and you end all your games. 2025, sat out the entire season. This is when we had the Browns quarterback carousel last year. Sanders, Gabriel, all those things. Now 2026 is where we are at. Before we eventually have to move on from this. But now the Browns are starting first 2 weeks on the road, which Deshaun Watson has said those are better for me. People cheer. We were listening to a clip about like a local Browns station talking about it, and they're like, oh, Watson, he thinks that it's going to be better on the road. I'm buying a ticket to Jacksonville, and I'm going to boo him so loud there. And essentially, week 3, if Deshaun Watson is starting week 3 in Cleveland, there's a chance the fans, it could get extremely bad. Yeah. Because the fan base hates not only him, but also the ownership and how they're not listening to the fan base. No. I want to be very clear. None of this would be possible without fans. They're the ones spending money to go to these games. You would not be an important person if you did not have people watching you. You would not have a team if you didn't have fans supporting you. Like, the fans are everything, and you're not listening to a single thing they say. Why the hell did you choose him for the starter?
In my opinion, and I I always lament about being a Dolphins fan and having a really shitty franchise. And I think I'm up there in shitty franchises. I do think the Jets have a shittier franchise. The Browns, when you look at this, when you look at the stuff where the owner at one point moved the team in the middle of the night, quite literally, and like for a couple seasons then moved them back, like what this town has been through is awful. And they are not treated well and listened to. And also I was telling Des when we were watching some of this before, like I got excited because I love football and I love when I have rooting interests, and I only really get them when the Dolphins play and when the Broncos play. I will have a third rooting interest this season, and it's anyone playing the Browns.
Yeah.
And even I'm like, well, no. What if the Chiefs are playing them? What if the Patriots are playing them? I would love
specifically playing Deshaun Watson.
Exactly. I want the Browns to win and Deshaun Watson. You know what? I'm like, I don't like saying this because I don't like rooting for like there are players that I hate because they have really misaligning political beliefs to mine. There are players that have said awful things. I have a tough time rooting for anyone to get hurt. I would not shed a tear and even jump up and cheer if this man's leg got snapped in half. I don't care anymore. Like I don't. I will actively be rooting for this man to have his body break. And truly, I don't care saying that.
And I think what's very important is I don't know, you felt that strongly prior to this weekend, and I think a lot of just fans, football people, fans, and Browns fans in general, but after this weekend and what he said regarding the fan base, it's crazy that he went from a villain to a mega villain. And you just think, oh, it can't get that much worse for him. No, it can, and we're about to see something play out on the field in regards to Cleveland Brown fans and Watson out on the field.
And I think one of our jobs as sports ballers is to bring new people into this game. And I think if you are like, I don't really get football, but like I love drama, just check out Browns World this season because you're going to get drama out the ass.
Yes. Well, our very last story of the league catch-up, it's actually quite an easy transition.
I'm starting to get men aren't great.
Oh, really? You think that?
Men aren't the best.
Men aren't the best. It's the easiest transition we've ever done, but it's hard to get out of this because Jed York, owner of the 49ers, was arrested on suspicion of engaging in prostitution.
Jed.
On Monday.
You can't do that.
I don't know if you knew this. You can't do that.
Some places in Vegas.
Some places.
You kind of can. Not in, and Des and I were like, I had to read this several times. East Palestine. Which is in Ohio.
Ohio. What it says, reports indicated he had responded to an ad on a prostitution website and arranged a meeting at a location in East Palestine.
Oh, man.
On Monday morning, York entered a plea of no contest to 2 misdemeanor charges, disorderly conduct and possessing criminal tools, referring to his cell phone to arrange the meeting. He was sentenced to 2 days in the Columbiana County Jail and ordered to pay $1,150 in fines, along with forfeiting $160 to the task force. He posted a $5,000 bond and was released. So here's the thing.
Tell us the thing, Des.
Jed York is a billionaire. Yep. A billionaire.
He has a current net worth of, wow, I thought that was just going to pop up. Google. Oh, man.
It's up there. It's fine.
Sure.
So he had to forfeit $160 to the task force, right? So, the people getting this done.
What? I was thinking that when I read that. I was like, this might be a little too, political of me. But, just like taxes, tax people based on how much they make. If, Joe Schmo gets arrested for prostitution, yeah, he should pay $1,000. If Jed York does, I don't know, charge him even $500,000.
Right.
What are we doing?
But my point is, $160 to task force. Drew, he spent $140 on this prostitute. This was a $140 exchange that he did. this billionaire. And where is East Palestine? It's a mobile home park in Ohio.
Now.
We are not disparaging. I know. I understand that.
Right.
You do not see billionaires typically in mobile home parks.
No, you do not.
If you have money, you have all of the resources. Typically, there's so many parts of this story that you're like, you paid $140 for in a mobile home in Ohio.
Now,
what are you doing out there?
All that being said, if you just saw this headline, you knew nothing about sports, and you just saw the mugshot, which doesn't look good, and just the name Jed York arrested for prostitution, you'd be like, yeah, Jed, of course he did. Like, Jed's not a billionaire name.
Jed York. But the Niners, it cannot get much worse over there. Not only are you having to battle the league continuing to, and on behalf of also Sportsball, really drive this electronic substation thing into the ground and into the minds of the American people. So they're like, what are we going to do? Then your head coach gets in a near fatal car crash, and then your owner gets arrested for prostitution.
And how bad do you think these EMF towers are that brought Jed to Ohio? Not disparaging Ohio.
It's very far from San Francisco is my point.
Yeah. What are you doing out there, Jed?
It's the craziest story. So,
men aren't great.
No, they
and
are
I'm
not.
going to try and be better for all of Ally.
So we had some crazy stories the past couple of days, but holy cow, you guys, it's time for the off-season catch-up.
This is our last off-season catch-up. So as a catch-up of the catch-up, we have covered the NFC East, West, and North and the AFC East, West, and North, which means, Des, which divisions do we have to cover?
We got to finish the AFC South and NFC South, baby.
We're headed to the South.
Yes, so let's start with the Houston Texans. So we're talking about the main points. So Texans, last year their O-line was one of the worst in the league. PFF, Pro Football Focus, had them ranked dead last season. They brought in some new major players to help. Now, their O-line may have been the worst last season. Their defense was considered one, if not the best defenses in the league last year, which got me a little bit salty because they were ranked above the Broncos. But they were so good. They were number 2 in points allowed, and their defensive line ranked number 2 as well. One interesting thing, speaking about the 49ers, their fan base feels like they have a receiver injury bug, and it's continuing. So wide receiver Tank Dell was finally making a full impressive return to the field after his brutal late 2024 knee injury. Then, as Tank Dell's coming back, second-year wide receiver Jaden Higgins tore his ACL in practice. So 2-star wide receivers on this team, one goes out, the other comes in, the other goes out, which is quite unfortunate. So then basically heading into preseason week 2, head coach D'Amico Ryans, he was like, we're not starting any starters. Everyone get out. Everyone, anyone that we can put in that's not our starters, we're going in.
And he reversed because he publicly had said week 2 he was going to play all of his starters. Then all these injuries happened and he said, never mind.
I didn't say that. No one's playing. You know what? We forfeit.
Yeah.
So the big story around Houston is they've been at the top of this division for quite a while, but CJ Stroud had an awesome freshman year, sophomore year slump, third year was mediocre. So now we're here in the fourth year. What's going to be the common theme for his every year to see if his season is really going to be that great, and also to see if any of the wide receivers can make a good recovery, and if they're going to continue with this injury bug scare with all the wide receivers.
I think if they feel like their offensive line can hold, it can give CJ Stroud a chance to actually work with his offensive or his receivers. And you need complementary football, as they say. So if you have a great defense, hopefully that defense can hold. Offensive line and offense can make a step up. They could probably continue to make a good run in the AFC South.
Totally.
But they'll be playing teams like the Tennessee Titans. So the Titans fired Brian Callahan and made a huge splash by hiring former Jets head coach and then at the time 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh, who Dez thinks looks like the dude from 300.
Yeah, the guy with all the piercings.
Who gets kicked down the well.
Yeah, look it up. I'm right.
I was like, Des, what are you talking about? And then she showed me and I was like, they kind of
search 300 guy with piercings.
Yeah.
And put a picture of Robert Saleh next to it. You're going to see it.
So anyway, they hired him, and then he hired former Giants head coach Brian Daboll as his offensive coordinator. Last year, they used the number 1 pick to get Cam Ward at wide receiver. They then used the number 4 overall pick this year to give him a huge weapon, Carnell Tate, one of the best wide receivers coming out of the draft. Reports out of camp have been saying that they've had a great chemistry, and it could be a really, really good vibe. Now, go ahead.
I'm going. Keep going.
Okay, now off the field.
Oh, you're on the next point. One thing I do want to talk about the coaches. I thought you were talking about the quarterback and everything.
No.
But the Titans were making waves because Cam Ward was first overall, and he absolutely bombed last year because the Titans are a place where you go to die,
Sure.
right? So now they're trying to bring in maybe like 2 + 2 = 3, whatever. Either way. But the fun thing about Robert Saleh and Brian Daboll both coming on, a ton of Titans personnel and head coaches and coaching staff, they're all bald.
That is true.
Look it up. There is a post release, and it's like the Titans have hired all these bald guys. Everyone's bald over there.
Good. Looks like a good football coach.
So I'm curious what's going to come out of that.
What if everyone shaves their heads on the Titans?
Why not?
Like all the players.
Yeah. Sure.
They all look like the 300 piercing Persian
Well, no.
dudes.
Robert Saleh looks specifically, not just because he's bald.
I know.
Yes. Okay, now you may continue.
So anyway, they were like, well, we didn't play great on the field, so maybe we can look good off the field, but on the field, but in off, whatever, it doesn't matter. They did a completely new uniform and rebrand. So the franchise officially unveiled a total brand overhaul for 2026. They ditched the old logos, flames, and adopted a clean, modern, heavily inspired classic Houston Oilers light blue and red. Now, why Houston Oilers? What the heck? The Houston Oilers used to be a team, then they moved to Tennessee and changed the team to the Tennessee Titans.
Breathe.
And then the Houston Texans became a new team. That's that history.
That's
lesson.
that history.
Now, they went back. The old Titans kind of had like a little light blue tinge, but their main colors were this like kind of deep blue, and there was even some red in there. They said, get out of here. All light blue, the like flaming helmet tee gone. It's just this clean tee. Completely not a fan of the Titans, but I like the
It's cool.
It looks clean. It looks
it's
really,
a nice
really
look.
good. So, now, back-to-back 3-win seasons for the Titans. Not doing good. The fans.
Why did we not talk about them? Like I was like, we were racking our brains with a worse team than the Dolphins. The Titans are bad.
And there are a lot of teams are gonna be bad, worse than the Dolphins.
Right. Oh
anyway, so Titans fans are like, we're a hard reset. But what they do want to see is a better year out of Cam Ward. Hopefully, one of the reasons Cam Ward didn't play well, he didn't have a great offensive line either. They didn't really invest as much as maybe some people feel like they should have, but hopefully that changes. Hopefully Robert Saleh, Brian Daboll, hopefully this will be an up and up. Better Cam Ward, Carnell Tate could hit. Maybe they could be okay. From bad to mediocre.
Yeah, I don't want no mediocre.
Yeah, no, they do want mediocre.
Oh.
From bad to mediocre.
Oh, I was singing the song.
What's that song?
I don't want no mediocre.
Don't worry about looking it up. All right, I'll go over the Jacksonville Jaguars while Des looks
T.I., No Mediocre, featuring Iggy Azalea. The classic T.I. song.
Sing the whole song.
Don't want no mediocre. I don't want no mediocre. No, bad bees only. Ain't no mediocre. Ho, don't want no mediocre. I won't hit no mediocre.
Why
am I saying mediocre?
Yeah.
Okay, Jacksonville.
Hey,
Jaguars. Duval. Yes, so that's what the Jags fans say. They say Duval because that's where they're at.
I think so, yeah.
It's Duval County. We should have looked this up. Oh, I can hear people screaming at us already. Second year head coach Liam Cohen, which gained notoriety because they asked him to do the Duval thing, and it's the cringiest thing you'll ever see, so go look it up sometime. He spent his first full offseason establishing his offense. The Jags let star running back Travis Etienne, and it's actually now Travis Achan.
Which you're only doing that because Achan had a good season. There's only one Achan in this whole NFL,
the whole world,
and it's my Achan.
Achan, yeah. Travis Etienne, he basically was like, Achan was like, no, because now what I was about to say, he's going to New Orleans, right? So he walked in free agency. New Orleans?
No, I know.
Yes.
I was going to say went to a bad team, but then I stopped because you said you think the Saints are going to be good.
They're saying like they're on the up and up.
All right.
We'll see. Either way.
Yeah, up from nothing.
But then he goes, well, no, actually the way you say my last name is Travis Achan. And it's like, all right, guys, just tell us how to say your name.
As people who say a lot of names now, we need to know.
It just is like, You don't want to do the whole, everyone just kept saying it this way and I just let it go. No. Say, this is how you say the name and it's going to be said that way.
One of the things I've learned from Des, you set boundaries, damn it. So you set boundaries around your name.
Yeah. Anyways, it's fine. Travis left. So the other Travis Hunter, he, back at CU Boulder, he was playing both wide receiver and defensive back. But now he is defensive back, cornerback.
DB, which is like a cornerback or like that's...
Yeah, it gets confusing with those things. But they're primarily going to use him as a cornerback this year. Last year he was injured, so you didn't get to see a lot of that. But he is going to be back as...
And when he wasn't injured, they used him primarily as a receiver last year and used him only a little bit as a cornerback. But even though he played majority as a wide receiver, his production looked a lot better as a DB. So they're going to transfer this, and he's going to play a lot more DB and only used as a wide receiver in certain special situations.
So during the preseason, we talked about this last week. Are you going to play your starters? Are you not? Because people are nervous about everyone getting injured. So these practices have been a little bit lighter, and also as well as the games, because Cohen held out Trevor Lawrence as well. But Josh Hines-Allen, a pass rusher, he made headlines day 17 of camp stating he's, quote, he's ready to tackle somebody for real. And so basically why this is making waves is because it sounds like they're not really doing this full out.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit interesting because it's like, we talked about this last week. Do you need to practice all out? But if you practice all out, there's a chance of injuries. Mm-hmm. And if you don't practice all out, are you going to start extremely slow and lose a lot of games? So
sounds like Josh Hines-Allen needs to have a release and tackle something, and it doesn't sound like he's getting that.
Is he going to play next week? Team. Do you think?
I don't think so. No.
They're not doing starters at all. Wow.
Also, I know all of you were holding your breath. The Dolphins are almost playing no starters for this next game. So.
Not even Malik Willis against Tua?
No.
Oh, man.
I know.
That's a bummer. Okay. So, to round up Jacksonville Jaguars, they were at the top of the division, not the Texans last year, so I don't know what I was thinking. But they were one of the 3 Broncos losses.
Yeah.
So, they came into Mile High and whooped us, and I was there for it. So, we'll see if Cohen can do it again.
I have my nose to the grindstone, my ear to old Jacksonville Twitter and whatnot.
Okay.
I have seen a couple people be like, this is kind of, they're starting to be like, I need to see something from Trevor Lawrence, or I might be like over Trevor Lawrence.
Whoa, so Trevor Lawrence might be on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's get something going from Trevor Lawrence, or not, I don't really care. But anyway, speaking of quarterbacks, Indianapolis Colts. Remember Daniel Jones? Weird Daniel Jones somehow was like the greatest quarterback ever for the beginning of last season.
That was unreal.
So we got a 2-year, $88 million contract extension, and the Colts declined first-round pick Anthony Richardson's 5th-year option. What's a 5th-year option, Des? I'm so glad you asked.
Yeah.
So teams must decide whether to exercise or decline the option during the spring between the player's 3rd and 4th seasons. So Richardson is entering his 4th season. Basically, when you draft a player, especially first through like 4th or 5th round players, you automatically, there's no contract negotiations. Money you can negotiate a little bit, but you get a 4-year deal. Then, between the 3rd and 4th season, teams can option to add a 5th year to that deal if they want. They declined that 5th year option. Anthony Richardson was like, I don't like this. And Daniel Jones is here. I'm not going to be the starter. So what did Anthony Richardson do? Demanded a trade.
I want a trade.
What has happened so far? Nothing.
Oh.
No one's traded for him. So right now, Jones is the QB1. So speaking of battles, Des loves battles.
Battle!
There is a battle between him and late 6th round pick this year, Riley Leonard from Notre Dame. Richardson has been doing a lot better. It looks like he's going to be the true backup QB2 unless someone trades for him. So basically, that's kind of it with the Colts. I mean, I think I forgot this until I started doing a little research. Up until Daniel Jones got hurt and was like playing on a broken leg and all this crazy stuff, they were like 11-1 at what point?
It was just, they were on a
running
rampage.
Away with it. And then they had an awful second half of the season, missed the playoffs.
But prior to all of this, they had that huge trade.
Right. So they did grab Sauce Gardner midway through the season when they were still kind of on the up and up, but they traded their 2026 and 2027 first round picks. So the Colts don't really have a lot of like capital to do things in the future. This is kind of like they got Sauce Gardner. We locked up Daniel Jones. Hopefully he's healthy. They're like in win now mode.
Well, yeah, and Carly Ursay-Gordon said we want to win right now. Like she came out and she said this trade is because we're winning right now. Yeah. This is what's happening.
You can't win right now, Carly. It's Monday.
Oh.
But soon.
Maybe. One thing, so we love Carly Ursay-Gordon here around Sportsball HQ and just in general. She's always on the sideline taking notes. I think she's awesome. One thing at training camp, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, she was at training camp and announced that Jonathan Taylor was here to stay because it was up in the air, running back Jonathan Taylor. They're like, is he staying or going? She announced it. And then Jonathan Taylor gave a speech. And then Jonathan Taylor turns to Carly Ursay-Gordon and goes, hey, we also wanted to celebrate you guys for staying with us. We are all buying you a round of beers.
Aww.
So Carly Ursay-Gordon buys all the Colts fans at this training camp practice a round of beers. Isn't that crazy?
That's so cute.
I was like, that's the coolest thing.
If I was a Colts fan and that was right now and I went to a training camp game and Carly Ursay-Gordon and Jonathan Taylor bought me beers and I was like, I'm doing 30 days no drinking, I'd kill myself. I shouldn't say that. I wouldn't. I just said that as like a joke. You shouldn't joke about that kind of stuff. But made it about me again.
There you go. So
that's cute.
That's cute. Let's get into the NFC South. The Carolina Panthers. So, Carolina, they won the South. And the NFC South, like, I feel like both the NFC and the AFC South are the worst divisions.
Kind of weak. I'd say NFC South much weaker than, like, because the AFC South is, like, kind of weak, but, like, the Texans can be pretty good.
And the Jags.
Yeah.
But
I know the AFC South might be a solid division.
Yeah.
NFC South, bad division.
Bad division. So, NFC South, one of the actually the worst in the NFL, I can say. Carolina Panthers, they did win the NFC South. They wanted to invest on big-name defensive players this offseason, so they made waves in free agency by signing Eagles pass rusher Jalen Phillips.
Old Dolphin, too.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And signed Jags linebacker Devin Lloyd. So there's been a lot of injury scares, though, for the Panthers. You know what? I can't believe I didn't start with this. First and foremost about the Panthers, their head coach is so hot. Just go look him up. Why did I not start with that? I'm sorry. What is his name? Look it up right now. Look it up right now. You think you're going to say it? I'm going to remember right now.
I know. I'm like so sad that I don't know.
David something.
Yeah, it's, oh my God, go away. What?
Search, I swear to God, if Panthers head.
Oh, Dave Canales.
Dave Canales, look him up. My God, what a looker.
We hosted an NFL podcast.
What a looker. You know who else is a looker?
Me.
Mike LaFleur. That's a looker.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of other head coaches. Ooh, you know what I was about to say? And I immediately took it back.
What?
I was going to say Mike Vrabel.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's a little bit tricky. Okay, I Rainbow Road, right? We were talking about hot men.
Sean
now
McVay?
we're talking. No.
Robert Saleh?
His eyes are a little bit too intense.
He does have
Robert
intense
Saleh reminds me of the guy from 300.
That guy's not, but Robert Saleh is like conventionally attractive, I would say.
No, I know I'm missing one that's like every time I see him, I'm like, oh my God. But I can't remember who it is. It's definitely the Panthers coach and the Packers coach. P&P.
Anyway.
And Patriots. Wow, if you coach a P team. Hot. So, lots of injury scares on the Panthers. Back to football, right? I'm just a girl. So, on the first day of training camp, second-year pass rusher Nick Scorin suffered a non-contact right knee injury. It was ACL. Then put massive pressure on Jalen Phillips to anchor the edge, which, thank God, you brought him in during free agency. Both starting tackles have also missed time. Second-year wide receiver Xavier Legette got rolled up during joint practices.
Do you remember who that is, Xavier Legette?
No.
He's the cool guy from like the deep South who has the most insane accent ever.
Like, you can barely understand him.
Awesome dude. Always smiling.
Yeah.
Really cool guy. But also a very good receiver. He was seen walking around in practice in a walking boot. Freaked everybody out. Apparently it's just a minor foot sprain, precaution. He should be ready for week 1. But
yes.
yeah.
And as a reminder, Tedorono McMillan was drafted last year, and if you had him on your fantasy team, he got you a lot of points. He's pretty good. So points. So between him and Bryce Young and other players on the Panthers, like we said, they won the NFC South last year. But with all of the early camp injuries, everyone's a little bit nervous. So we're going to see how that all shakes out. I feel like everyone is talking about injuries right now.
Yeah.
Like it's every team. But that's your Panthers update.
That it is. Now we're going on to the Atlanta Falcons. So I'm going to use this second to say something. The Falcons are continuing the trend of having former star quarterbacks come back and help their team. Dan Marino with the Dolphins. He's doing great. Thanks, Dan. You're probably doing great, but the Dolphins aren't, but that's fine.
God.
Peyton Manning with the Broncos. Actually doing great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Peyton.
Thanks, Peyton.
Drew Brees with the Saints. We'll get into that in a second. But Atlanta hired former Atlanta Falcons MVP quarterback Matt Ryan to be the president of football. That's such funny to be the president of football.
President.
Anyway, and as you know, the Falcons fired their GM and head coach last year, so they brought in Ian Cunningham as the GM and hired former 2-time coach of the year Kevin Stefanski
With the Browns
as their head coach. And immediately they said, you know what? Our quarterback drama is weird. Let's make it weirder and bring in Tua. So now that's the biggest story for the Falcons, in my opinion.
Because as a reminder, last year, they signed Kirk Cousins to the Falcons on this massive deal. The draft comes along. Falcons are picking 6, and they go, we're drafting a quarterback.
Yep.
And no one knew, including Kirk Cousins, that was happening. Eventually, Michael Penix started over Kirk Cousins.
And then got hurt.
Yep.
And seems to be injury prone. So then they hire and sign Tua, who is, above all things,
not injury prone
at all.
He's been playing great for so long.
Penix has been coming off of this injury and slowly being brought in even during training camp. He only yesterday was cleared for full practice 11 on 11. So Tua has been getting a majority of the starting reps because Penix hasn't really been there. Now Penix is fully cleared, so now we have a full-blown quarterback competition. And Tua has not been playing well. He hasn't been playing well from what I've heard, in practices, and hasn't been playing well in the games either. So we got a real QB battle. So where a lot of teams are sitting a lot of their starters for their third and final preseason game, I think we're going to have Penix and Tua in there. And Stefanski's I'm going to see either what I have or see which quarterback gets hurt again, and I'll then know who my starter is.
Then I'll know what I don't have. Same thing with the flights. Don't know where the plane is.
So basically, that's the main thing. The other thing I want to talk about, and this is good to relate to, we kind of talked about Deshaun Watson stuff, and also Dez and any Broncos fans are kind of wondering what's going to happen with the Jonathan Cooper stuff. Rookie edge rusher James Pierce Jr. was handed an 8-game NFL suspension to start the season. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but he was arrested in Florida after a domestic dispute involving his ex-girlfriend, WNBA player Rickea Jackson. They arrested him. Allegedly, Jackson stalked her, made contact with her using his car, and she drove to a local police station. They got into a physical altercation there. All these 3 felony counts, including aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, fleeing, eluding police, and resisting an officer. A lot of...
I like that you started with, I'm not going to get into the details, and then go into every single detail.
Anyway, the big thing that's a detail is that despite avoiding... So he avoided formal criminal conviction via the diversion program. I don't know what that is. It's something where you can be I'm sorry I did it and I won't do it again. And then you don't... He didn't get charged with anything. Even though he didn't get charged with anything, the NFL can still do their own independent review and under its personal conduct policy, levied him an 8-game suspension. So, moving on to Jonathan Cooper, we're still up in the air about what's going to happen. He has some pretty serious charges levied against him. Even if, and I don't know, it's a big even if he doesn't get charged with anything, or he's been charged, even if he doesn't get... what's it called?
Formally charged,
but convicted of anything.
Convicted, okay.
He still could suffer some suspensions.
Yeah.
But the NFL won't do that until the stuff's over.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
So the fan base is just worried about this quarterback hell that they're in and continuing to be in. Both of them are injury prone. Both haven't been playing well. it's going to be a rough season for Atlanta.
Oh, it's not looking good
No.
down in Atlanta. Saints, last two teams. So Kellen Moore returns for his second full year as head coach with former Chargers head coach Brandon Staley directing the defense. So Tyler Shuck, he has now taken full ownership of QB1. So started last year, and now he has the position. And they were somewhat on the up and up last season. They weren't as bad as they typically were, and it's exciting. So former starters Spencer Rattler and Zach Wilson. Hi, Zach Wilson.
Remember Zach?
Remember Zach with the Dolphins and Zach with the Broncos. He has been at both of our teams.
I know.
They are
Blank slate hats. Go get some.
Yeah, sort of. It's his brother that does it.
Blank slate hats. Go get some.
No free advertisement.
Okay.
Has been regulated to competing for the backup job. So the main thing that I want to point out, they signed Travis Achan onto free agency. Drew Brees, speaking of old quarterbacks, he has been all over the Saints this offseason, so he helped train Tyler Shuck and wide receiver Jordan Tyson over the summer. So also Drew Brees helped train Bo Nix last season, which is pretty cool.
Hey,
so.
Drew Brees, pick a team that you want to help.
No, I like it. He can go wherever. So,
okay.
Yeah, it's fine. So, basically, New Orleans fans, they're relieved that the awkward quarterback carousel is over. They genuinely like Kellen Moore, so the second-year head coach. The Saints haven't made the playoffs since 2020, so they're really curious to see if Tyler Shuck can step it up and take them all the way to possibly playoffs this year.
The other thing I really want to say about Drew Brees real quick, too, is that Drew Brees was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame this year, and Kellen Moore, made all the players watch the induction, brought Drew Brees in, and used, Drew Brees' success as, hey, and Drew Brees has been around the building, but really used Drew Brees' Hall of Fame, induction as, a rallying cry. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of pressure on Drew Brees, apparently.
Yeah.
But the Saints are no longer coached by Sean Payton. I don't know why. I was just trying to find a segue. Every time I'm let's connect to the Dolphins or the Broncos. Sean Payton used to coach there.
Can we?
And now he coaches
finish this podcast?
The Broncos.
Can we
Speaking of the
finish this
Broncos,
podcast?
Tampa Bay Bucks are another team, and they're the last team we're going to talk about. So, Tampa Bay Bucks brought in Zach Robinson to be their offensive coordinator. Oh, that's cool. Offensive coordinator change all the time. This is their 5th different offensive coordinator in 5 years.
Crazy.
You got to pick one, guys, and give them a chance. So, also, I just saw this, and I had to talk about it. Coaching icon Tom Moore. He's 87 years old, officially retired after 48 years in the NFL. He was their offensive consultant for the last 7-8 years.
Wow.
I just think that's crazy. And then I saw that he retired, and then I got on his Wikipedia page. He's working in college now, so he's by NFL and then went to college. I think
my God, at
that's
87?
so
Wow.
funny. But the biggest thing in Tampa is Baker Mayfield and QB1. So this is the final year of his big deal after he only had a 1-year prove-it deal. Then he played well, and then he got a bigger, better deal. So he wanted to negotiate an extension. Negotiations stalled, and Mayfield had set a hard deadline before camp opened, but with no deal reached, people worried that he wasn't going to show up and do a holdout. Nope, Baker's out there. He's in shape. He's playing. He's ready to go. He just wants to play football and shock a lot of people. He wants to prove a lot of people wrong. But the problem is, this is Mayfield, as we talked about. Mayfield's been there for 3 years. This is his 3rd offensive coordinator and 3rd new offense to learn in 3 years. So hopefully he can keep growing. Baker is massively loved in Tampa Bay. They're excited about him. They think he can play well. He kind of had a weird down year. There's some weird injuries and different stuff. But as we said, the NFC South could be one of the weakest, if not the weakest divisions in the game. I do think on paper, the Bucs could be one of the more talented teams and should have a good run. Mm-hmm. So I think Bucs fans should be feeling excited about this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. With that being said, holy cow,
man.
I'm so happy we are done with this.
This is your idea.
It was my idea. I was like, let's catch the Sportsballers up on every division, and it just gets so long and taxing.
Thanks for sticking with us, if you did.
You probably didn't.
Yeah.
It's been nearly 2 hours.
This one has too?
Correct. I know.
Oh, man.
I was trying to wrap us up, and then you started talking about Sean Payton
You used to coach
for
the
the
Saints.
Broncos.
I don't know if you guys knew that.
So next week, we finally get to go past that and start talking real ball.
Yeah.
It's a final season of preseason, or final week of preseason, and then we are heading into week 1. So basically.
Yeah, there's a little off week. If anyone that doesn't know, there's preseason, and then there's an off week where they get to use that as practice week 1 for.
I know. We're just really trying to wrap it up. It's essentially, we're so close.
How's going on? What's going on with your week?
Can we please end this?
Yeah. So, as always, go
Bronc
Bronc fans!
fans!